In 73 BC, the Roman Republic was the most ruthless war machine the world had ever seen.
But Rome made a fatal mistake. They took a Thracian warrior, stripped him of his freedom, and put a Spartacus. His name was Spartacus, and he was sent to the gladiatorial school of Capua.
Here, men were forced to butcher each other in the arena, so the Roman elite could cheer from the stands. But Spartacus wasn't just a killer. He was a leader. He realized the gladiators had not farsk. They planned a massive breakout, but they were betrayed. With no weapons and guards closing in, 70 gladiators stormed the kitchens. They fought heavily armed Roman guards using nothing but meat cleavers and footstool birds. Against all odds, they slaughtered the garrison, stole a wagon full of real weapons, and Rome treated the escape as a minor police issue. They sent 3,000 militia to hunt the slaves down. Spartacus and his men retreated to the treacherous slopes of Mount Vesuvius, trapped on the rocky peak.
The Romans didn't bother attacking. They guarded the only path down, planning to simply starve the gladiators to death. But Spartacus engineered one of the most brilliant guerrilla tactics in military history. Using wild vines from the volcano, the gladiators wove hundreds of feet of rope. In the dead of night, they rappelled down the sheer, unmapped cliff face that the Romans had left completely unguarded. They flanked the Roman camp, emerging from the darkness like ghosts of vengeance.
The slaughter was absolute. The entire Roman militia was annihilated before they could even draw their swords.
Word of the victory spread like wildfire across the Italian countryside. The myth of Roman invincibility was broken. Slaves, shepherds, and farmers abandoned their masters and flocked to Spartacus's banner by the thousands. The band of 70 gladiators rapidly swelled into an uncontrollable army of over 100,000 men. Rome panicked. The Senate dispatched 2 full consular legions, the elite forces of the Republic, to crush the rebellion.
But Spartacus outmaneuvered them both. In brutal winter conditions, the slave army tore the legions to shreds.
He forced captured Roman commanders to fight to the death in makeshift arenas, making the masters bleed for the cornies. By 72 BC, the slave army had a clear path over the Alps to freedom. But Inachus funded a massive new army with his own fortune, demanding absolute, terrifying discipline. When one of his legions retreated from Spartacus in fear, Crassus revived the ancient punishment of decimation. 1 in every 10 men was beaten to death by their own comrades. He taught his soldiers to fear him more than they feared the gladiators, more than they feared the patriots. Spartacus was forced into the toe of Italy. He paid pirates to ferry his army to Sicily, but trapped against the sea, Crassus built a massive 40-mile wall to seal the slave army in and starve them out. But Spartacus wouldn't die quietly. In the dead of winter, during a blinding blizzard, they filled the trench with corpses, free once more, but fractured and exhausted. The final, apocalyptic showdown was inevitable. At the Battle of the Salarius River, Spartacus brought his horse to the front lines. He drew his sword and killed Spartacus. He declared, "If we win, we will have plenty of Roman horses. If we lose, I will not need one." The slave army charged directly at the Roman legions. Spartacus fought like a demon, slaughtering his way to... He was finally cut down, his body mangled so badly it was never recovered from the thousands of dead. Over 100 miles of rotting flesh. A brutal reminder that in Rome, freedom was bought with blood.